verse 5. And it reads, "And it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all." Job got up, not late evening, but early in the morning to let God know that he recognized who he was in his life. And it says that he offered burnt offerings. In other words, everything that God had blessed Job with, Job went and presented it back to God. How do we let God know that we appreciate his blessings and that we appreciate his hand on our life? Is when we offer it back up to him. See, some of you know how to sing, but you don't want to sing because you don't want to offer that gift back up to God. Some of you know how to fix things, but you don't want to offer that gift back up to God. But when you can offer that thing back up to God, that's when God knows that he is well pleased. That's when God knows that you appreciate his blessings. You got to be willing to give it up. That's why I don't play with tithes and offering. I don't play with it at all. Why? Because I want God to know that I appreciate he allowed me to go to UPS and make you right. So therefore, when I get here on Sunday, I offer him back the offering. I give it back to him and say, God, I know it was you that gave me this job. I know it was you that gave me this talent. So I'm going to give it back to you. See, when God can trust you with a little bit, he can bless you with the more. But see, if God, some of you are praying that God would give you a $400 job when you can't give him nothing on a $200 job. You see, God don't operate that way. I hate to tell you this, but when I look in the Bible and I look in the scriptures, everyone that was extremely blessed was blessed because they gave something back to God. They gave them their service. They gave them their time to God. And when you can give it back to him, then God can give the other stuff back to you. So I won't rob God of my time. I won't rob God of my service. Some of you say, okay, well, Pastor, why you run so much for church? Why you run so much for God? Because I know that everything that I am and everything that I want to be is because of God. Because if it had not been for the hand of God on my life, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be who I am. So I have to give it back to God. Because if God takes his favor off of my life, I am nothing. I am nobody. I need his favor. I need his anointing. I need his blessings on my life. I need him. I need him. I need him like I need the air to breathe. I need him like I need water to drink. I need him. So I don't get in the debates with people. Some people say, well, tithes is in the Old Testament and this is in this part of the Bible and God understands my heart. But if I find it in this word written, I try to do just what is written. Because see, you don't realize I'd rather take a chance on being right than just throwing away something. You see what I'm saying? It might not. God might say, you know what? You might not have to do all that. But I'm just going to do it anyway because I want the blessings of God on my life. Some of you try to think yourself away. Some of you try to philosophize the Bible. But I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to make sense. This word of God and the things that God tells us to do ain't going to make sense. I remember old sermon our daddy preacher said, it don't make sense, but it please God. It don't make sense to come in here on Sunday morning when you can be in your bed sleep, but it please God. It don't make sense to be here Sunday after Sunday when you can be out there barbecuing on the grill, but it pleases God. It don't make sense when Pastor called and he said, I need you to fix this. It don't make sense to do it, but it pleases God. It don't make sense to be at choir rehearsal and praise and worship practice, but it pleases God. It don't make sense to give your tithes and your offering, but it pleases God. Oh, I just want to please him. I just want to please him. I just want to please him. See, some of you are worrying about your children, worrying about how they're going to turn out. And is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? But I tell you this, if you can work on you, if you can get that favor of God on your life, your children ain't got no other choice but to be blessed. See, when you read in verse 5, it said Job did this thing continually. Let's go. I want you to see it. I want you to see it. I don't want to make it up.
All right.
Let's go to verse 5. At the very beginning, the very last word, it says, thus did Job continually. See, some of you are faithful sometimes, or you're faithful for 2 weeks, or you're faithful for 1 month, and then all of a sudden you fall off the bandwagon. You haven't done it long enough to get the benefits of it. So you're trying to figure out, well, why? Pastor them say the thing at work, but I ain't seen it yet. You haven't been doing it continually. Faithfulness is not something that you can pick up and put down. It's got to become a way of life. You've got to just continue to be faithful, and I'm a witness that God will bless you. You can't tell the job, you know what, I came to work all last month, so this month I want a paycheck. They ain't gonna give it to you. They gonna say you get a paycheck for the week that you work. Since you ain't work this month, you ain't gonna get no paycheck. And what I'm trying to tell you is God is saying, you've been faithful last year, but I need you to be faithful this year. You were faithful last week, but I need you to be faithful this week. You gotta do this thing continually. It's got to become a way of life. It says, thus did Job continually.
Yes.